Welcome and thank you for joining us on this on our channel. Uh, well, today we'll try to diagnose first, and analyze what the issue really is in South Africa. We all know it's very saddening to see fellow African being ousted, being chased out of the African land of South Africa. But we should see that this is just a symptom of a much larger issue that's really going on. I titled this video as by saying that Mandela just only solved half of the problem in South Africa. By that I mean Nelson Mandela, who faced uh, apartheid um, that we all know in recent South African history for over uh, a quarter of a century, succeeded in abolishing apartheid the way we know it, the political apartheid, in 1994. And we all celebrated thinking that South Africans are now free in their land, and they have recovered their rights on their land, which was true, but that was just one side of the problem that was solved then. And so today we will try to analyze what the other issue is. We'll make a small comparison between the apartheid and the fight against it that was led by Nelson Mandela, to the fight for civil rights in the United States that was led by Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King fought for civil rights in the U.S., and he achieved a great deal by getting the United States government to abolish large set of discrimination in the United States, protecting voting rights for Black people. But he did not succeed in another front that he tackled, and that some are thinking today that that's what got him killed. Martin Luther King, uh, towards the final years of his life, had tackled what we call the economic uh, um, justice in America, especially he tackled the housing rights in America, and he was making waves in that, and that is what people are thinking might have gotten him killed more than anything else, because that is touching the crux of the problem. When there is discrimination in a country, it could be political discrimination, it could be racial discrimination, but the basis of it is economics. The basis of it is economics. So today we're going to say that that's also the problem in South Africa. When apartheid was abolished in 1994, that only meant that now South Africans can elect the president they want, and it might probably be a Black president. And we've seen that happen since then, from Mandela to Ramaphosa, through Mbeki and the other guy. So, we're electing Black presidents, but that's not solving the issue. The economic issue that Malema is talking about, that is the real problem, because apartheid was a system, and that system was led. So that system was carried by the Boers, the white South Africans. So the white South African who came from elsewhere, just like the colonizers in the rest of Africa, They came and settled and considered land theirs. The resources are theirs. So all throughout apartheid, they controlled everything. They controlled the economics. They controlled the resources. They made themselves piles of money and wealth during that time. And we can here draw again also a comparison between South Africa and the other African countries, especially those that were colonized by the French. Because in those countries too, when the fathers of independence uh, uh, fought and reclaimed independence in the 60s, everybody jumped and everybody was happy. But by that time, the colonizers, see, especially the French, had found other ways to still continue to control the economies of those countries and disenfranchise the peoples and keep them poor and subdued. And that's what we see. For instance, in the most French-speaking Africa, we have a currency that's tied to the euro, and everything that they export outside, half of it will go to the French coffers in Paris. So it's still some type of draining of our resources, of the resources in those countries that can, drain the economies of those countries and keep people poor. So in South Africa, the white control the system. They control the resources. And here again today, even if we have a black president, we have ANC in power, the economy, the economic system still is controlled by the white South Africans. And the black South African has been disenfranchised all this time throughout apartheid, and since even after the end of apartheid, they're still disenfranchised economically. So uh, this leads to some types of you know frustration and pain that has been bottled up over the decades in within black South Africans, that they have to let this out. Unfortunately, just like a bully in a schoolyard um, who generally is someone with insecurities, someone with a pain inside them that they want to let out, they will just go to the smaller kid, to the wimpy kid that they see, to kind of take it out on them. So South Africans aren't happy. South Africans, black South Africans, disfranchised, poor uh, black South Africans are angry at someone, at who they don't know, because those who control the economy are faceless, soulless. They're hidden behind the thick curtains of the system. They don't see them. They cannot go after them. And the rich blacks that you see, the Motsepes, the Ramaphosas. So all those you see, they're just poster boys of the system. But the so the regular South African who is been economically disenfranchised, and I agree here with Malema, that's what's going on. We have the political freedom, but we don't have the economic freedom in South Africa. So they don't know who to go to. They don't know who to fight for that. Well, Malema actually does know. It's the whites who control the system. But the regular guy, regular South African, does not cannot have um, access to those who really control the system. So they fall on, just like the bully in the schoolyard, they fall on the weak prey, that is the African immigrants who are there unprotected. Um, uh, Unprotected in South Africa. So the easy prey is what they go for. But we should not see this as South Africans are mean or they hate Africans. no, we should not generalize that. South Africans are not bad people. They are our brothers, our African brothers that we love, but they're living a situation that is lived by most African countries, by Senegalese where I'm from, and Malians, Niger, people in Niger, and everywhere else. So we should understand the situation in that way. It's painful to see Africans, um, violence of Africans against other Africans. That's very sad and very painful to see. But we should also try to go beyond and try to understand the situation from a different angle. Is that the crowd just goes on emotions. It's not something that you can reason with people. And all most of those South Africans who inflict violence against those African immigrants are doing it at a subconscious level, but not because they truly uh, objectively think that these African immigrants are doing them any harm in South Africa. It's at the subconscious level, they have this pain that is bottled in, and they have to take it out on someone. That someone should be the white Boer, not the fellow African immigrant. But it's not as simple as that, given that it is a system, and those who pull the strings are hidden behind the curtain. It's the same issue that goes on all around the world on black people. Um, if Haiti is an example, got independent, but they were kept poor by a global system who doesn't want to see black Africans rise to power through economic power. So, and Bob Marley said it well. Today they say we are free, only to be chained in poverty, and that's what's going on. Um, it's a system that just wants to keep black people poor, and once people have been back later, we will come back later for a deeper analysis, for more discussion. Please, if you can add a comment to whatever you think of our position on what's going on in South Africa, we appreciate it. Thank you.